Hey Buns, so before I get into the video today, first of all, I wanted to mention, obviously, the new camera. It's pretty great. It's a Sony A7C, and check it out. Does auto
That's the exact camera I have. Look, you guys can see it.
This
Where is it?
Pretty cool.
There it is.
I'm really happy about it, but what I actually want to talk about here today is all the new players coming to Final Fantasy 14. Wow, it has been
There's a lot of people playing the game now. Yeah, I got the same camera. The lens actually was recommended to me by the legend Reckful, and I love the lens. I think that it's great, and so yeah, I've had this for 3 years, and it is a great camera. And you guys can see, like, that. I think it's become, like, the thing is, like him using that camera, I think made it the default, because now you see so many people with like the Sony camera, so many fucking people. It's kind of crazy to see how that happened, like the ripple effect.
Biggest wave I've ever seen, and it is very likely because of all of the prominent WoW content creators saying good things about the game, finally giving 14 a try and reporting back saying it's incredible. I just watched Jesse Cox's comparison
we watched
of
that
WoW
video.
and Final Fantasy 14. It was very well put together. It was very positive. I would agree with pretty much all of it. And I mean, so that's what I mean. Like, these content creators are going back and letting their communities know they're snoozing. They've been snoozing on this game for too long, and it's finally time to give it a try. I had the interview with Asmongold and Rich Campbell last week on the Allcraft podcast, and I know Rich is having an amazing time playing, and Asmon said that he was...
I think Rich is having too much fun. I'm gonna be honest. I think Rich is he's having too much fun, man. Like it's too much, dude. It's like he's going crazy. He's having a blast. Like, yeah, it's nuts. He's going crazy.
I'll give it a try, and I mean, I could not be happier. This is amazing. This is an incredible time for Final Fantasy 14, and I want to welcome these people. I want to encourage people to be welcoming to the new players as well, because I mean, I don't see myself as different from any of the new WoW refugees that are coming in. I myself, having been a WoW refugee that came during the Warlords of Draenor era, so welcome, my long-lost World of Warcraft brethren. I know that Final Fantasy 14's community has been fairly insulated for some time. It has, for better or worse, been sort of a bubble. But as we see the game grow in popularity, that bubble must burst, and it is bursting. And I see this as good. I realize there are people out there who are afraid of change, and this makes them feel threatened in some way, and they have been reacting fearfully. And I want to let people know to maybe chill out a little bit. It's going to be fine. It's actually much better to have growth and change rather than sit in the little bubble of stagnant pond water that just gets all stanky and gets the algae on it. It's like
it's like a hot tub in the section on Twitch. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be sitting around in the same hot tub water for 8 hours. It's disgusting. And so, yeah, very, very true. I agree with that. I think that it's important to have change. It's important to bring other people into the game. And this is what I said before. I know that, you know, I got the same type of pushback whenever I talked about how I wanted to see people go in and play something like let me think of an example of this. I wanted to see people go in and, like, have console players play WoW. Like, I want to see console players play WoW. Why is that? Because I want the new people playing the game. And you just can't have the game exist. You can't have the game grow if you're not doing that.
Mosquitoes start coming. There's so many mosquitoes out here lately.
Yeah.
They're so annoying. With the change, with all the pouring in of new personalities, new faces, new perspectives, this is revitalizing for our community, and it is only good. I see only good coming from this. I know some people hear me say that, and they're like, but what do you mean, Zepla? Only good? Don't you know how toxic that community is? That community? Have you heard?
They're talking about us.
They all are, every single one of them. And I'm always like, hold up. Like,
yes, well, listen, our community, here's the reality, is that I actually don't think that we're that toxic. I really don't. I mean, like, yeah, there's going to be, like, bad apples in every bunch. But, like, Final Fantasy has toxic people, too. Like, everybody has toxic people. It's not like this is my fault. Like, give me a fucking break. Yeah, we're fine, guys. Like, this is not... Like, I think that 90% of the toxicity that these people are perceiving is our idea of a joke. Like, haha, we think that it's funny to say this is a weeb game for girls. And then these people are like, wow, these sexist pieces of shit are making fun of my favorite game. And it's like, well, no, bro, like, we're just having fun. Like, stop, man. It's just people get so wrapped up in that shit. It's crazy.
Do you not hear yourself? Do you realize how unfriendly and unwelcoming you sound? So you're worried about them being unfriendly. But you've built up all this hostility to people that you're getting ready. You're already being pretty unfriendly too with your attitude.
Big surprise.
I don't know how people go through life this way. I mean, you have to deal with people on an individual basis and not set up these self-fulfilling prophecies where you're expecting someone to be hostile to you, so you're hostile to them before they've even had a chance to
they're setting themselves up to get mad.
You're saying to yourself, oh, well, I bet they're going to be like this, 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 and this. And you build up this hostility before you've even had a conversation with someone.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people like that to me.
And, of course, if you engage with someone having that attitude, they may respond to that with hostility, sensing that from you, maybe even defensively. And then people will say, oh, well, I told you so. I knew that they'd be like that because not realizing that maybe it was your built up.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, exactly. Like, also, like, for me, here's how I see it, is that, like, I know that I will bring at least some people into Final Fantasy that are toxic. Like, absolutely. Because it's just a law of averages. If you're bringing in 1,000, like, there's going to be, like, I guarantee you there are probably a lot of people that are going to start playing the game because they watch me play the game. Like, that's just, how do I know that's true? Because game companies pay people millions of dollars to do that. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of people that get into that. A lot of people do it. And, like, if you bring in, let's say, 1,000 people, you're going to have a couple of shitheads. Like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just what's going to happen.
Maybe it was your attitude of unfriendliness that could have evoked this response from someone else.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to place judgment on someone just because they happen to play a video game with a toxic reputation. I mean, haven't we all at some point in our lives played a game with a toxic reputation? Or because they...
Every game that requires you to interact with other human beings is toxic. You ever notice that? Every single game, whether it be League of Legends, Valorant, Xbox Live, World of Warcraft, this game has toxic people, etc. Every single game. Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, yeah, that's where the real fucking, that's where they talk about philosophy, right?
Watched a streamer that you don't like that's not a basis for knowing someone or judging someone at all. And I think that life might be easier if you just give people the benefit of the doubt. Be kind first. See what happens. Let's also not pretend like it's a paradise here in the 14 community where nobody's toxic ever. I mean, I know that we all like to say it is generally positive, and it is. But I have met some of the most toxic people in the 14 community. They are rare, but they are here. I want to make this clear. I will not tolerate gatekeeping of any kind in my community. I won't do it. There's not a whole lot that we put the...
Well, it's cringe as fuck. It's always cringe as fuck. And, like, the thing is, the reason why it's cringe, the gatekeeping is cringe, the reason why it's cringe is because of where it comes from. It comes from a place of insecurity. Yeah, I think that's what it really is. It comes from a place of insecurity, and they want to hold people back from being able to enjoy the same thing, and they want to have like a monopoly over those things. That's where I think the gatekeeping really comes from, 99% of the time. And they want to, maintain what they have, and they don't want to share what they have. It's insecurity almost every time. I believe it is.
Down hard on, but that is one thing that I take very personally. I take it very seriously because I want people to feel welcome. I want people to feel like they belong. That's kind of the whole guiding principle of this YouTube channel, of my streams. It is to make Final Fantasy XIV more accessible for new players. And accessible means, in part, teaching people about the world, teaching people about different game mechanics, but also, I mean, helping them feel welcome, helping them feel like this is easy, this is fun, you belong here. And so that's why I take this so personally, and that's why I decided it was important for me to speak out about it before it becomes an issue. Right now, I wouldn't say that it is widespread, at least in my community. People, I think, knowing that I came from WoW, tend to be more understanding and more cool about it. Now, I do not expect everybody to like everyone else. I'm not asking you to be best friends with every single person, but I think that the bare minimum we can offer other people is to give them the space to play the game on their own and decide if they like it for themselves. You know, if you don't like someone, let them be. Even your friends, you can let them be to a degree. I mean, in the sense of not putting pressure and expectations on them and just letting them make up their own mind about what they like and if they're having fun or not.
I think this is one thing that's happened a lot with like Dark Souls, for example, is like whenever I played Dark Souls, there were a lot of people who were very opinionated about the way that I wanted to play the game. Like they were not happy about the choice of weapon that I used or the order of bosses that I wanted to play in or the soul level that I was at. And there were all these different ways and all these different things that people wanted to see me do. And they wanted to see me do differently or whatever. Like, yeah, min-max Andes, everything like that. WoW is the same way. Obviously, like people are the same thing in WoW. And I think a lot of these games, and this is really what, as I said, I think it comes from a place of insecurity. And that insecurity comes from a place of like their ego, right? Their ego is wrapped up in being part of this game or being good at this game. So whenever they see somebody else playing the game and achieving the same level of success that they have without doing the same things that they feel like should be done, they try to rationalize that success by saying that, oh, well, you didn't do this or you didn't do that, because it helps preserve their ego and they don't feel as bad about the fact that, you know, they're feeling good about playing a video game. That's really what it comes down to, and I think that's what the ultimate outcome is. And like ego is not just being good at a video game, it's like thinking that you're better than other people. Ego is just generally the comparison of one person to another, right? I think that's 90% of ego for most people.
This tribalism about the game is super unhealthy. I don't like it when someone says, oh, I want to go play Elder Scrolls Online for a while. Oh, I'm done with 14 for now. I want to go play another game. And their friends are like, ooh, what? You're gonna do what? Like, back up, man. Why are you acting this way? This is your friend. This is someone you like. Shouldn't you most of all want them to be happy and to have fun? That is... It's creepy when the brand loyalty gets in the way of that. I'm really unsettled by that, and we have to remember that just because we like a product doesn't make it part of our identity. I was pretty hesitant to make this video at all because I didn't want to reinforce what I consider to be a false paradigm of us versus them. I didn't want to give anyone that idea or plant that seed, which I think is based on nothing. I don't think that turning on an application on my computer or going to a certain website on Twitch makes me different in any way. It doesn't make me better. It doesn't make me worse. It doesn't add to my personality. It doesn't change my identity. It's a program that's on my computer screen, you know? And I think it's a really, really insane way to judge someone. So I felt like talking about it might somehow reinforce.
Some people take things way too fucking seriously. They just, as I said, and this is not something that's like just with WoW. As I said, this is with fucking everything, man. People will go through who I follow on Twitter and they will say, I can't believe that you follow this person. As if me following somebody means that I agree with everything they say. There's plenty of people that I follow who I actively disagree with. I just want to see what they're doing, right? Because I find it interesting. This is what people do. Yeah, these are nutballs, you know what I mean? Like, these are people that you cannot let these types of individuals control a narrative because they're not responsible enough to do that. These are people who have actual like problems, who use the internet as an outlet for those problems.
Even if I'm saying don't do that, you know? But since I kept having people asking me, am I worried about so-and-so, or I'm worried about these people or those people, I felt like,
it's me.
Okay, maybe I should talk about it.
Talking about me.
Maybe talking about it and encouraging 100%. People to be welcoming will have a positive outcome in the end. Buns, thanks for watching. If you like this video, consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free by clicking the subscribe button or by sharing this video with your fellow warriors of light. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Like, you could say it's co-carnage too, but like, let's be honest. I mean, co-carnage is like just a well-mannered, you know, average middle-aged man that plays video games. He's got a wife and kids. Like, if you're talking about what community are you worried about? Oh, are you worried about co-carnage's community, or are you worried about fucking Asmongold? Like, bro, you're worried about Asmongold. Like, let's be honest. Like, you know it, I know it, everybody fucking knows it.